Hello. So in this video today, I want to talk about the importance of rest and also the difference between fight, flight, and freeze. In my experience, flight and freeze can be very similar. And I find myself flying more in response to trauma, like post-trauma, whereas during trauma, it's either fight or freeze for me. But there's a lot of different ways that people react, but I specifically want to talk about post-trauma response and the importance of rest, especially during the current situation that we're in with the COVID virus, and how to tell the difference between a freeze and a rest, and also when to take a rest instead of continuing the fight. So a lot of people have a couple of different responses to trauma, and one of them, which is the one that I typically go to, is a tired response. So like you'll experience something, or you'll try to take on something new, or like any little change will make you get really, really tired, and you just want to like go lay down, take a nap. Like it's kind of like a depression. And then there are some people who, when they take on something new or they want to make a big life change, they have like a all or nothing type of response. And I really want to talk to those people specifically today, because especially during COVID, it's really, really, really easy for us, especially if you don't have a job, to get into this, well, how many different projects can I start, and how many different things can I do during this time, and like let me set this like bucket list stuff that's absolutely impossible to achieve, but let me kill myself trying to achieve it. So I really want to talk to you guys about this today, because it's really important, I think, to look at the way that we build up our daily schedules and see if we're pushing ourselves into overwhelm or even burnout, and what we're adding that is actually fulfilling versus filler. There's a huge difference there between something that's fulfilling and like working towards a goal versus filler. And one thing that my mentors actually told me about this, I remember we were on a call and I was listing off all of these different things that I needed to do as my schedule was going to start to change in mid-January, because I was like, well, I've got school starting, and then I have YTT, and then I'm going to have these church things and like all of the stuff. And she's like, wait. You either need to focus on the business or school or YTT or church. You can't spread yourself so thin that you have a whole bunch of things that you're doing, so you feel really busy, but you're actually not getting anything done. And it took me a while to really understand where she was coming from. In the end, I chose to focus on my business and do YTT, just because I felt like the two really complemented each other. And YTT was only once a month, every month for 9 months, as opposed to a weekly commitment like school would be. And then with the church stuff, I ended up paring it down to specifically what I could handle. So when you find that you're trying to fill your day with a bunch of different things, I want you to really look at what your main goal is at the end of this crisis, or just for this year, and look at what it is that's like number one, and just focus on that one thing for a solid month. And if you're able to keep going with that and like keep that momentum up for that entire month, and you still feel like I could probably add a little bit more here, then add something else. Don't immediately like schedule something for every single hour. Give yourself breaks. Know it's okay to rest. Like, I had a day a couple weeks ago where I was going through my like monthly cycle, and it kind of surprised me, and I was feeling really crappy all day, and I was so frustrated when I got back from the dog park with my dog because all I wanted to do was do work. But I had to let myself know it's okay in this moment to rest. That's what my body needs right now, so that tomorrow and the next day and the next day, I can be back on schedule and do my stuff. So I think that the difference between needing to rest and going dorsal or going into that freeze state are a couple of things. So first of all, needing to rest is like I was experiencing a physical, like full body shutdown. Like my body was like, stop, whoa, we're going through something that you haven't really gone through much in the last couple of months or in the last couple of years, really. We need a day. Whereas going into that freeze response is when I spend a lot of time on social media, or I've not done anything and yet I'm still tired. Like, that's a difference, I think. That's how it is for me. Or if I've gone through a major emotional response to something, like I've had a huge aha moment, and now that I've had like a good cry, I want to go take a nap. Yes, take the nap because you need the nap to recover. However, go on like a 15 to 20 minute walk or jog or bike. Do something to get your blood flowing so that that tension, that trauma doesn't get like stuck in your body somewhere, and it moves out, because that's like so important to move it out of your system. And then the difference between being productive and being busy, or that line between being fulfilled and filled, is when you're being fulfilled, you're working to achieve a goal and you're seeing progress. When you're simply filled, it's like you're chipping away at like a sand like dune, but somebody keeps pouring more sand in, if that makes sense. Like you're digging a hole, but somebody keeps pouring more sand in. So you want to see if what you're actually doing is, if you're really getting somewhere. If you're not really getting anywhere, you need to reevaluate where you're at, because it's so easy for us, especially when we have so much more free time, to feel like we need to just do it all and like throw ourselves completely in. So, for example, I have 3 things that I'm doing during quarantine that I'm working into my schedule. One of them I've been pretty consistent with, other than last week because I was in classes all last week. But one of them I've been pretty consistent with, and that's creating content. Then I'm adding, career growth, and then I'm also adding workouts. But I've been I've been doing yoga 3 times a week, so I'm just adding 3 more days a week that I'm like working out. So, and I'm doing this week as like a test run. And then I have other things that I fill my day with, like taking care of, like my responsibilities, like taking care of my dog, cooking dinner, all of that sort of stuff. And I also allow myself an hour to an hour and a half of like true relaxation time where I'm only consuming things that are fun for me. I think that's really, really important, is to not oversaturate yourself with things that you feel make you a productive person, because I promise you, you will burn out. I've been there 1,000 times, and you don't want to do that. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Light enough. I'm just going to do it this way.